sun, moon, and stars affect our planet and energies in our bodies? Is astrology our guide to our individuality?
Okay.
That's a good question, yeah?
Yeah, it is. Yeah. First off, everything's affecting everything else. I think we have to start with that principle. Instead of asking yes and no, we should ask in what ways or how, right? How is something affecting me? Because everything we can perceive is inside our consciousness, and that means the light of it and the sound of it and the vibration of it is coming into our bodies. If we're perceiving it physically, it's coming into our physical body. So it is affecting us. If we're perceiving it non-physically, it's coming into our non-physical body. My experience is that the sun is the source of creative energy for this physical planet, and the sun is also a source of energy for our energy bodies here. We can use that energy in many, many different ways to increase the vitality of our physical body. And sometimes this means healing. Sometimes this means increased brain activity, like psychic abilities and telepathic abilities. Also, the sun makes us feel better. Right? With more energy in our bodies and minds, we're going to feel happier also. With astrology, I often describe it as the weather. Okay? So the energy of the planets and the different constellations of the stars, they're all coming into the planet. So it's a real thing. We can see the light. It's going to come into our eyes. Its vibration is going to come onto the surface of the earth. And the energy of these stars is kind of like the weather in terms of how we use it in our lives. I don't believe that the astrological energies determine who you are or determine how it's going to happen in your life. Right? I don't believe that something as far away and as small as a single light in the sky has more power than my free will. I've just never seen evidence of that. I've seen that people who make important the astrological information, they choose then to create their own beliefs about the stars. That's very different than saying the stars made me do it or the stars are doing it to me. So I see the astrology like the weather. Right? So as these different planetary energies and star energies change their position, we feel different energies in the world. And depending upon our personality's alignment, we might be activated with certain expressions in our personality. So you might become more angry at a certain period of time because of the position of Mars related to the position of Mars when you were born. Right? Someone else born at the exact same time as you in the exact same hospital as you, which does happen, may have a very, very different experience happening in themselves at that same time Mars is in the sky in the present moment. Right? There's lots of babies being born like minute after minute, sometimes at the same time in these hospitals, same location, same time. But these human beings don't live out the same lives, and they don't respond to the same situations in the same way. Right? If we wanted to say that astrology makes me who I am, right, then we could just look and say two people, same time, same place, should be identical in nature. But you put them in a situation, you see they're going to respond differently. Astrology is just one factor, and it does influence us, but it's a very small factor. How you're conditioned in your family, I feel, is far more influential than the position of the stars. Right? What you free will create as your own beliefs in your mind is more powerful than what your family tells you. I think that the further away something is and the weaker it is in its expression, the less influence it has on us. So as I go deeper into myself, the deeper I go into myself, the more powerful the experience is. Right? The stronger the energy, the stronger the knowledge, the more it feels like me. So stars are very, very far away. Planets are very far away. So their influence is going to be little compared to my family that's closer to me, compared to my own mind, which is closer, compared to my soul, which is the closest, right? The deepest within. In a similar way, you can think about society has less influence than your family. Right? Some people will go against what society tells you. Right? It's like, I want to be happy and I'm going to do this, and I know society doesn't want me to do this, but I'll do it anyway. Now, what if their family disapproves? Then it's harder for them to do it, right? Because the family's closer, they're around you more, you spend more time, they're a stronger influence. They're also in your body with your DNA. Astrology is very limited in its influence, I feel, for most human beings. I think that those people who study astrology and learn about it find evidence of it, and that evidence is realistic, but they make that evidence more important. They emphasize it. So now during their day, they're interpreting their life experiences through the information of astrology. They're making their own choices through the information of astrology. And now they're seeing a lot of evidence that astrology is so powerful. But what they're not quite seeing is that it's the information that you're putting into your life that's so powerful. It's not necessarily what the planets are putting into you. It's what you read about and you believe to be true that you use to make your choices. You're putting that into life, and that's why it's so powerful.
Okay.
Right? When I look at astrology, I do see that it does affect the planetary energies and the energy of human beings. The more awakened we are, the less we're influenced by the external world, including astrology. The more awakened we are, the more we are creating into our lives what happens. And that includes how we feel inside our bodies.
That's very interesting message. The more awakened we are, the less we look outside and the less we are influenced.
Yeah, because you're the creator. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You have all the power in your hands.
The power in the hand.